Hello again. Today we are introducing the letter N, and I'm sure you can see straight away that it is very similar to the letter M. It has one curl over wave, not two, so it should be fairly straightforward to learn. We start with a lead-in stroke, up, down, and back up again, almost to the top. Stop just here. Let's try a few more of those. Lead in, up, down, back up again, almost to the top. Lead in, up, down, back up again, almost to the top, and curl over. This is when it begins to look a little bit like the letter R. And because you're used to that, I'm going to add the next shape. Lead in, up, down, back up again, almost at the top, curl over wave, straight line down and add an exit stroke. Let's practice a few more. Lead in, up, down, back up, almost to the top, curl over wave, straight line down, add an exit stroke. Lead in, up, down, back up again, almost to the top, curl over wave, down, and an exit stroke. Okay, now we're going to have a look at the capital, and I have seen people doing this capital letter N two different ways. Some start at the top and come right down to the writing line. Then they lift their pencil back up to the top, slope down to the writing line, and a straight line back up. Let's try that again. Up at the top, down to the writing line, lift your pencil, back up to the top of the line, slope down to the writing line, and without lifting your pencil, go back up. The other way is to start on the writing line, straight line right up, slope down and up again. On the writing line, straight up, slope down, straight up. You practice them both and decide which one suits you best. And if we put a lowercase letter n next to it, you can see the size difference. Okay, now some people are going to just write a printed letter N. Down, back up, curl over, down. And if that's the style that you would like to use, that's okay too. You choose the style of writing that suits you best. But I'm going to carry on using cursive writing style because I find it's easier to remember how to spell a word when you link the letters together. So, capital N. And you can see from this that I like to start at the top and then go back up there. But you choose the style that suits you. That one's going to need a bit more practice, I think. But we're going to put a lowercase letter next to it and practice that. Here's our printed letter, just as a reminder. There. Choose the one you prefer. This is the one I prefer, because I find it helps me to remember my spelling. Okay, let's try on smaller lines. Lead in, down, back up, curl over, down and an exit stroke. I'm going to try joining some together. You try. You can pause the video anytime you need to and come back to me when you're ready. Have a go at joining where the exit stroke leads in to the lead-in stroke for the next letter. The next question is very definitely, okay, so when do we use the letter N? Well, we use it for the sound N. And because N sounds a little bit like we're going to have a picture. Look at the mouth shape. The mouth is open and you can't see it, but if you say N with me, N for nut, your tongue is just behind your top teeth. Practice that and get the feel of it. N. So sometimes when we're writing, we need to think not just about the sound we can hear, but about where our tongue is and whether or not our mouth is open. N is N. Practice that a few times to get the hang not just of the writing, but of your mouth shape. N is N. Here's our capital. N is N again. But we won't be joining our capital. It needs to stand looking like it's the beginning of a word because it lets us know when the beginning of a sentence is, or when we are naming a person, or perhaps a city, like Newcastle. N is N. Thank you for joining me.